Hey, what's up everyone, I'm Andrew, and in this video I have an Xbox 360e, which is a failed attempt at making some mod and cleaning. The Xbox is almost disassembled, and all the parts are removed. Also, I got one controller, which seems to be okay, and a power adapter. But the power adapter is a little bit noisy, probably because the cooling fan from the inside is dry or dirty. Let's start and make this Xbox complete again. And a few words about this console. I got this Xbox from a guy who had a pretty good collection of game consoles, and this is his first 360e. About 3 years ago, he watched some videos and tutorials how to clean and mod this machine, but when he tried to paint the case, things didn't go as planned. He tried to paint the case in something like anthracite or dark metal shade, but the color shade did not turn out as he wanted. Then he tried to clean the plastic using some stuff, probably nitro thinner or something similar, but the case started to be more damaged and some plastics started to melt. Somehow he prevented further damage, and after that he packed this Xbox for the next time. But time has passed, and this Xbox has almost been forgotten. Actually, this guy didn't know that I do some repairs and restorations, and I found out about this Xbox when we start chatting about some games, and he showed me his collection of Xbox 360 games, which is one of the best I have ever seen. It has more than 70 games and very fine organized on shelves. And in this conversation he told me that he has some stuff that is broken, some stuff for parts, and some stuff that can be still fixed. So when he told me that he has one 360e that waits for better days, I asked to fix it, and this is how this Xbox came to my desk. Also later in conversation, I found that the controller sometimes has problem with some buttons. While in conversation, later I found that the controller sometimes has problem with some buttons. I mean, all the buttons are working, just some buttons needs to be pressed harder than usual. And I found that the CD-ROM sometimes will read CDs, but sometimes will not. Also, I was told that this Xbox once was in some repair store because of cleaning the CD-ROM and basic cleaning. The Xbox 360e is becoming old nowadays. Unfortunately, the online support has ended, but you can still play single-player games. The CPU and the GPU on 360e are better compared to the older models from the 360 series. Also, this model was released back in 2013. Yes, it's an old, but yet still good and okay to play some older games in 1080p. I'm not sure it is worth restoring these older game consoles anymore, but if you have some good game collection or if you're searching for something cheap, then it's okay. I mean, personally I really like to restore and repair stuff, and for me, that's okay. And one very interesting fact about the Xbox 360, the 360 series has a very large game choice. I think more than 4,000 games were released for the 360 platform, which is a very big number. In general, this Xbox is in a very good condition. I expect the things to be a little bit different. The motherboard is in a great shape, not repaired nor anything similar. Also, under the CD-ROM rubber, I found a check mark, an OK sign, which means the CD-ROM was already disassembled before. Many stores that do cleaning or repairs leave some marks or stickers on some places, and this is very usual. After I finish with cleaning the electronics and the cables, I move to the case. Before anything, first I have to fix the case. I mean, do in-depth sanding, because to remove some dents around the case, fix some plastics that were melted before, and return the things to some normal borders as before. Here I'm using 600 to 1000 grit sandpaper. Also I'm using water and glass cleaner. This is because the sanding is going easier and the surface will be much smoother. Also, I will avoid some impurities and no dust from the plastic. After I finish with sanding the case, I move to wash the case. Before painting or anything else, the case must be perfectly clean. I wash the case using warm water and dish soap. Usually, I do this step in a bathroom. I mean a little shower in the case. After I clean and I wash the case, and while the case and the plastics are drying, I move to the power adapter and the controller. Under the rubber feet, the controller has 4 screws, and it's very easy to open. In general, this controller is clean. I mean, whoever cleaned this controller has done a great job. I expect a little bit more dust, but this thing is looking super great. The noise is coming from the cooling fan, because the cooling fan axe is dry, but this is very usual. Now to lubricate the axe, I'm using quality 540 motor oil. The silicone oil is fine as well, but the 540 motor oil will last for a very long as well. Now, after I finish with the power brick, I move to the controller. The controller has a different screws, and here you need a Torx with a hollow point. I mean, this hat is a little bit larger, but it's just to show how it's looking. From the inside, the controller is looking pretty fine also, except for some dirt and something oily and sticky around the silicone pads. So this is the reason why some buttons have to be pressed harder. Also, this is very usual thing with any controller. I mean, no matter Xbox, PlayStation or anything else. The electronics from the controller, I wash it using 96% isopropyl alcohol. And I wash the entire board because to remove any dirt from all sides around, from the both sticks and the buttons from the back. And finally, the plastic case with the buttons and the silicone pads, I wash it using soap and water. And one more thing. After assembling the controller, I add a keyboard to the controller. I have a few of these keyboards and I think this thing will be better when something is more complete. And finally, I move to the case. I got asked to paint the case like many other before, and that is lava or the crust deep black effect. Basically, this is a flat paint with additional random textures. And the cool thing is, this effect is always unique and different, and I never succeed in making one paint that is the same as any before. Always the paint is looking different and always the pattern is looking different. And finally, I move to assemble the Xbox. Also, I have to find some stuff like plastic from the power button, the electronic with the power button, and I have to find some screws. Unfortunately, these things were lost before. But anyway, I know some guys that own a store and we do some exchange in the term of parts and stuff. Well, before I fully close the plastics, I must test the Xbox. I connect the power adapter and everything seems okay. And I'm done with assembling. And after making all these changes, this is the final result. Well, and a few words about this Xbox 360e. The 360 series slowly but surely is going into history. But for anyone who want to enjoy playing some older games and great games, this console is still great. Yes, the game graphics are not super great, like gaming to PS5 or Xbox One or PC with RTX graphics, but the game graphics are still good in many games. And for these consoles, there are many games that are great to play with great stories. And I think the most of you remember these games as well. I mean, games like Halo 3, The Witcher 2, Call of Duty, Battlefield, GTA 4, GTA 5, Fallout 3, Skyrim, and many more. Well, and this is all about this Xbox 360e. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope this video will give some ideas and inspiration to back in function or fix some stuff or make some stuff better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.